Hey everyone, my name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at some Choosing Beggar stories, so sit back, relax and enjoy. The free ride stopped now, Choosing Beggar friend. I have this friend who I've known for years, and when we do hang out, we have a great time. We don't really text much, and lately it seems like he just texts/calls when he needs something, leading me to ignore them sometimes. He's had a bad year, getting married, then divorced, moving around a lot, and getting in trouble legally with a girlfriend. He just moved back home with no money for a car. He called me one day out of the blue asking for a favor to drive him to a counseling place in a city 14 miles away, 28 miles per trip. Not just once, but to several appointments. He assures me that he'll pay gas money and that I need to pick him up as soon as we get off the phone. I hang up and hurry down there to pick him up. When we arrive at the place, he finds out that the person he needs to see isn't even available, so they set him up with an appointment for a different day. I drop him off and never receive gas money. To be clear, I'm completely fine doing a favor for a friend 1 to 2 times, but after that I start to feel taken advantage of, especially friends that don't reciprocate. Come next week, I get up early and pick him up at his house on the morning of the appointment. I drive 14 miles to the destination and he walks into the building and finds out today is the wrong day for the appointment. He read the appointment card wrong. He apologizes and I'm totally stunned and a little angry. On the way home, he asks me to stop at the liquor store so he can buy a 6-pack. Still no gas money. I shouldn't have to beg for it considering he offered over the phone. He still had the idea for me, him and another friend to get together for my birthday in a few days, so I thought maybe he'd make it up with pizza and a drink. A few days later, we're hanging out, and he actually asks me to chip in $7 for the pizza. I tell him I didn't bring cash. He doesn't take the hint and says, "That's okay, you can go to an ATM on the way to the pizza place." This time I explain, "I've been driving you to the city for free, I think you owe me." He gives in and pays for the pizza. Later on, we all went to the bar and he did pay for one of my drinks as well. He has another appointment tomorrow and asks if I'd still be willing to drive him. I say that I can, as long as though I can get $10 for gas money. At 55 cents a mile, it comes to about $7.70, plus a little extra for having to sit through the appointment. He responds, I can see if I can spot you, which doesn't sound promising at all. He makes it sound like he's doing me a favor by spotting me the cash. I ignored that message and will probably just sleep in tomorrow unless he can assure me the gas money. In that position, you've just got to be straight up, haven't you? Like, I don't mind doing favors for you, but I want it to be like a two-way street. You do a favor for me, I do a favor for you. If you're not paying me gas money, I'm not going to be your taxi. Lady only wants cash for help. My son goes to a co-op preschool that rents space from a church. After dropping him off one day, a lady pulls up to the parking lot and takes up a handicap space and a walkaway. She's crying behind the wheel and is asking for help. My son hasn't been paying rent with my money and I have to go live with my sister. Everything I own is in this car. Okay, no one is in with the church right now because it's a preschool during the day. I need money to fill up my tank, get food, and I need it now. I have to drive to a city that's 2 hours away before it's dark. Do you have any cash? I don't carry cash. Nobody does. Nobody wants to help anybody. Who are those people in the church? Those people are working for the co-op. Would you like a hug? It sounds like you've had a rough day. I need money. Nobody wants to help. Did you try the church across the field? They are talking about it. They won't just help anyone. My car is almost out of gas. I need money. I don't carry cash. I can take you to a gas station and fill up your car and get you lunch nearby at the store. Nobody wants to help anybody. I need money, so I can go live with my sister in a town that's 2 hours away, and I need to get there before it's dark. I've offered to give you food and gas, but I don't carry cash. I'm going back to the other church. Nobody wants to help anybody. I grew up in a small Alaskan village where we all looked out for each other, and probably offer help too often. This was just a really weird situation, and I felt like it was one of my few encounters with a choosy beggar, or a scammer. I'm not sure, but I'm leaning towards the latter. Do churches offer free money to people? I've never heard that before, but she sounded like she was going to the church because they offer free money. Am I wrong? Crazy Karen at Starbucks gets kicked out. So this isn't my first post here, and I'm sure it won't be my last. I'm deaf and have been since I was 12. From then on, I learned sign language and really focused on learning how to lip read because all of my friends were hearing. Our story begins a couple days ago when me and a good friend of mine, knowing each other for over 10 years, were in line at Starbucks. Honestly, I was pretty nervous as most of the time I just use mobile order because it's a lot less pressure on me and is less time consuming for the barista. But of course today my phone had died. Lucky I had a friend with me to calm me down. There was a pretty long line, but we didn't mind, and we just signed while we waited for our turn when I see a lady in front of us at the counter. I can tell she's angry as she's throwing her hands up in the air, but of course she's facing away from me, so I don't get to know all of the juice. I asked my friend to sign what she was saying so I could gossip with her. So she starts interpreting, and here's what went down. You are honestly the worst cashier I have ever met. Where is your manager? Today's your last day at work and I'm gonna make sure of it. I'll be right back, just let me go get my manager for you. In the meantime, just step right over here so these two ladies can get through. The barista turns around and leaves, when the entitled parent looks back at me and my friend. Of course, Starbucks is always something I didn't understand, yet I am always put last. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, I'm deaf. I said this while signing. So they're going to serve this person over me. I've been waiting longer and they should really serve the normal people first. She said something after that, but I was so shocked that I stopped reading her lips. Are you kidding me? She's just deaf and she deserves just as much respect as you. Don't start calling her abnormal just because she can't hear you. The manager came in from the back room to calm everyone down. The entitled parent apparently told the manager I was throwing up gang signs when my friend told him, "She's deaf, what do you want from her, lady?" And then entitled parent went off on the cashier for attempting to have other people cut her in line. Entitled parent was asked to leave and my friend and I got our drinks for free. And man, did it feel good to wave at that woman while she was huffing in her car with my free coffee. That is one crazy person, yeah, she definitely deserved to be kicked out there. The time my roommate let in a homeless dude and he wouldn't stop asking me for more stuff. So background, T is my old roommate, OP is me, and H is the homeless dude. I'm driving home and my roommate texts me. She said she's not in any danger but wants me to come home like right now. So I came home, I walk in and there's a strange dude sitting in my living room. My roommate said she just finished cooking dinner and this guy came and knocked on the door asking for food. She felt pretty bad because she just finished dinner, so she let him in. I come in, make some small talk with the guy. He seems pretty normal, I guess. Then he sees my smoking stuff on the counter. You smoke? Occasionally, yeah. You smoke meth? Nah, just never felt the urge, I guess. Wanna smoke up? Me, not wanting to share my stuff. Sorry man, I'm out. My fiancée normally buys it for us. When's he coming home? Can you ask him to get some? Nah man, I really don't want to bother him while he's working. T is just sitting there awkwardly. Luckily, my friends text me and say they're in the neighborhood, so I use this as an excuse to get this guy out of here. Hey man, my friends are coming by, so you gotta go. They smoke? Think they got stuff? I don't know man, but I really need you to leave. He's going really slowly at this point, like super slowly, gathering his stuff and sitting down for minutes at a time in between getting stuff. Finally, I say, "Can I walk you to the door?" As we're at the door, he says, "Do you have any shoes?" Nah man, I don't have any shoes to spare. Besides, we aren't the same size. What about your fiancée? No dude, I'm sorry. I closed the door and he left. My friends show up and I start telling them about this crazy story. Suddenly, I hear a knock, I open the door and it's the guy. Quick note, my apartment complex at the time had these really tiny storage closets outside of the main door. That's where we kept our spare key. Hey, it's really cold out, can I have a blanket? Me, stubbornly super attached to my blankets. Nah man, but I think I have something you can use. I leave and grab an old pair of snow pants I don't use anymore and bring them to him. As I open the door, I notice him quickly shut the storage closet. You don't have a blanket? Can I have a blanket? You have lots, I saw them. Me, as I'm slowly getting my spare key from the closet. Listen dude, I'ma be real with you. You seem like a nice guy, but I already fed you and gave you something to stay warm. And you're on meth. I don't mess with that. I wish you the best of luck really, but you need to leave now. He takes the cue and leaves. Later on, my friend stepped out to smoke a cigarette and noticed sounds coming from my neighbor's storage closet. At that point, we said screw it and called the cops. They showed up, found him, let us know they're taking him somewhere and left. I was pretty mad at T for a while there. Yeah, I don't know what the roommate was thinking when they let someone in. Yeah, that's nice, but if the guy's like on something and you could just give him food and say yeah, leave, but even still. Upgrade your machine so we can use it. This happened back around March of 2018. I was working as an intern, part of my curriculum, for a research group located in college. So, as I said, I was working for an intern for a research group at a college where I studied. Right next to us, there was another research group and the laboratories were only divided by a set of doors. They had an intern as well. For her project, she had to use a rotary evaporator. Problem: their laboratory wasn't equipped with one. Her chef, the choosing beggar, told us to use ours. Didn't ask us, just told her to use it. Luckily, she has better manners and asked my supervisor, SV, if it wouldn't be a problem since we had to use it as well. Our supervisor is super chill, so everything's fine. She would plan around our schedule and could use the Rotovap. Except that the solvent she used always took a long time to evaporate completely, which messed with the schedule. So choosing beggar told her to up the vacuum, which led to the fumes not getting cooled fast enough and getting sucked into the pump. This is bad for the valves and can ruin the pump. The supervisor calls for choosing beggar and tells him his intern can't use our Rotovap as it either takes up too much time or ruins the machine. Choosing Beggar says that we should upgrade our cooler, even though it's fine for the projects we do, and then starts freaking out, acting all high and mighty, when Supervisor says no, saying it's our fault his intern can't complete the research for their project, and that we should buy better equipment, etc. Eventually, Supervisor caves in and gives the Choosing Beggar a backup/older Rotovap setup she had in storage, so Choosing Beggar can ruin it, which is crazy cause these things cost so much money. Choosing Beggar reluctantly agrees and takes the machine, only to come back after a few days to demand we switch setups cause the old one doesn't work as good. No, really? Words were said, professional relationships went downhill. And as a bonus, before this happened, we asked if they could analyze a protein sample from us together with a batch of their samples, which is automated, zero effort for them. We got some weird results, so wanted to see if it was the same on their machine. Choosing Beggar refused because it would take up time and money. This made the whole Rotovap thing even worse. Oh, and I have no idea what a Rotovap is, and they actually said what it is here. A machine that heats up a liquid mixture under low pressure, so it evaporates easier, then cools the fumes so they can condensate and be caught in a separate container. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Wow, those two videos right there look really good. I'm gonna have to click at least one of them, right guys? Click one of them, watch more videos.